So this class is yoga for back pain. If you have got a block or alternatively a rolled up yoga mat, so the roll, we can use those for today's class or use them interchangeably. If you don't have a roll, genuinely like a bath towel, fold it into thirds, roll it up and tape it up, and it'll be your friend for the next wee while. It's also washable, which is always what you want with your friends. This class is designed, obviously yoga for back pain and teaching, virtually, it's difficult for me to know exactly what is going on with you. So listen to the cueing, listen to the instructions. There's usually lots of information and lots of different options given. So choose what feels appropriate. So if you've got sciatic stuff or SI joint problems and you hear me say do X, Y, and Z if you have those problems, make sure that you are doing them. Generally though, in this class, I tend to avoid any sort of excessive amounts of forward bending, so like big spinal flexions, mostly for low back disc damaged people. The same goes for seated twists, laying down twists. I don't tend to teach these. So if you have those as part of your practice, that's wonderful if they feel good, but just be aware they won't really appear in what we're doing today. Choose a comfortable seated position. If you know that your lower back is probably the area that you are here for, I strongly recommend that you elevate your pelvis so that you're taking the pressure off of the front of the hips. So an area that is notoriously tight, and it is an area that we shall endeavour to open up. Either use your hands on your knees to assist you in doing a wee bit of a pull with the arms to lift the chest up, or if you're sitting on the ground, you can use your hands behind you to assist in lifting your chest up. For now, close your eyes and then start to do deep breathing. And I bang on about it a lot in this class, but from how potentially you have spent the rest of the day with an unconscious breath, there hasn't been a huge amount of movement around that breath. When you start taking a deliberate deep breath, you start moving many more things. The diaphragm starts to move, the ribs move in a different way, and different parts of your back will also be moving. The deeper you get the breath, the more likely you are to recruit other muscles of inspiration. So getting more movement, pressure changes in the abdomen, pressure changes in the chest. So anytime you're in a pose and you're thinking, what can I do here? It might not be going deeper into the pose. It might be using your deep breathing to get more in feeling with what is happening in the poses. And that's a really good way to do this class if you're newer to it. In the next 3 breaths, get clear on one part of your back that you are willing to work with for this class. So that might be an area that is currently sore, an area that maybe feels tight, or even an area that feels blank. So there might be an area that you wish to strengthen or build a connection with. These are all good ways to work this class. If you know that the left side of your lower back is the area that's screaming out, but for some reason you're not choosing it because what if the universe notices that you've noticed, please don't buy into that. If it's left side low back, work with the left side of your lower back. If you're adamant that there is nowhere that needs your attention, choose where your spine meets your pelvis. So even if you are supported in your seated position, that area is still taking a fair bit of strain as it holds the weight of the body. So it's a good focal point for how we work this class. You don't need to turn side on, I'm just turning side on so you can see this a bit easier. Open your eyes, stay very connected to that area that you're working with today, and set it as a priority for how you are doing the poses. Is it a comfortable way or an easy way to work with that area, or are you aggravating it? In your seated position, send your chin forwards. You want to think the chest and the upper back hasn't moved, but the head has. Exhale, pull your chin in, so rein your neck in. Inhale, send the head forwards. Exhale, rein your neck in. Inhale, forwards. Exhale, tuck the chin. Inhale, send the head forwards. Exhale, tuck the chin. One more. Inhale, send the head forwards. Exhale, tuck the chin. So just working some of those muscles that may not get much of a look in. Beginning with shoulder shrugs, take a deep breath in. Hold your breath, bring your shoulders straight up, straight back, and squeeze them Exhale, drag your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, spread in between your shoulder blades. Exhale, squeeze the middle part of your shoulders back, squeeze them a lot, drag shoulders down. Inhale, spread into the back. This time take your palms so they face up. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades and your elbows towards each other, feeling the bottom part of the shoulder blades drawing towards one another. Draw shoulders down. Inhale, relax the arms down. For this round, focus on making that squeeze and drag down really smooth rather than kind of bitty or raggedy. Deep breath in, spread into the upper back. Even let your shoulders come forwards a little bit. Hold the breath. Bring the shoulders straight up, straight back. Squeeze them. Exhale, drag your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, spread in between your shoulders. Exhale, squeeze middle part of shoulders back. Squeeze a lot. Pull shoulders down. Inhale, spread into the back. This time, turn the palms so they face up. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades and elbows towards each other. Squeeze a lot. Pull the shoulders down. Inhale to relax your arms down. For the next part, come onto all fours. So if you're sitting on a block, move it out of the way. You can do this sitting your hips back towards your heels. If your knees are less happy with that, do this in more of an all fours position. If you're on all fours, just make sure you have adequate padding around your knees. Press the floor away so you're getting a lift up between your shoulder blades. Look forwards, but tuck the chin to help lengthen through the back of the neck. Stay very vigilant. If you know that your head has a tendency to sit in front of your shoulders, the more that we do these movements, the more likely you are to keep going back to that default positioning. So remain really on it about what's going on there. Inhale, lift between your shoulder blades. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades back. So you're actively drawing the shoulder blades back, arms are straight. Inhale, lift between the shoulder blades. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades back. Inhale, lift up between the shoulders. Watch if the head is moving. Exhale, drag shoulders back. Inhale, lift between the shoulder blades and push your arms downwards as much as you can. We're going to hold this in a protracted shoulder position. So actively pressing down. If you know that you tend to hyperextend your elbows, soften them and push down. So aiming to really recruit your strength so it's less kind of on and off again, but actively on. Inhale, relax that pressure a little bit. Sit up for a moment. So as we start getting into the shoulders, we are looking to create a little bit of movement around the shoulder and neck, just to get this area moving. Stretching is all well and good, but developing awareness is going to give you a little bit of an extra sensation. Flip the legs around, so you're in a seated position, legs are bent about 90 degrees, and take your hands behind you. Wrist sensitive, simply turn your hands out, elbows are a little bit bent. Inhale, relax your shoulders and chest down, and allow the head to come forwards. So the shoulders, instead of squeezing them back, let them roll forwards a little bit, and let your rib cage almost sink down between your arms. Inhale. Lift the rib cage up, pushing with your arms and squeeze the shoulder blades back. Exhale, allow the shoulders to dip down between the arms, so the arms are like two high points on the cable. Inhale, lift the chest up, lift the head up a little. Exhale, tuck the chin, allow the back to sink down between the arms. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, round into the back. Inhale, lift. Okay, translating this, come back onto all fours. I know it's a little bit start-stoppy, but that's kind of the order of this class. So thinking about cat arches, inhale, lift your head, lift your sit bones, and allow the mid-back to come down. Squeeze your hands in the direction of your knees and very slightly bend your elbows. Exhale, tuck the tailbone down, round into the back, and push into your hands. So using the push action to help send your mid-back up. Inhale, send the mid part of your back down first. Sit bones are coming up, head lift, squeeze hands towards knees. Exhale, round into the back, push into your hands. Inhale, come back into a neutral spinal position. Okay, now don't move your rib cage at all. Do a little bit of exhale, tuck tailbone down. Inhale to neutral pelvis, and then firm up your abdomen significantly. The aim is to now do cat, so that only the upper part of the back and the neck move. So it's that push-pull dynamic with the arms to help create this. Ideally, pelvis and abdomen doesn't move. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your head, squeeze your shoulder blades back. Exhale, round into the upper back, tuck the chin, but don't move your abdomen. Inhale, scoop your chest forwards, shoulder blades squeeze back. Exhale, round into the upper back. So we're just starting to pry open the upper back. Inhale, scoop chest forwards. Ideally, don't move pelvis or abdomen. Exhale, round into the upper back. Shift back towards a seated position, and that might be sitting on a block for you if that is more comfortable. Take the arms out to the side. If you've got tennis balls, you are welcome to do that, holding them in each hand. It gives you a really good way to bring tension into the pose. Alternatively, go for hands active. Inhale, turn your palms to face up and feel for sending the bones of the elbows forwards even though the arms are straight. Exhale, rotate the arms so the palms face down and turning them towards the back of the room so your shoulder heads slide up. Inhale, turn the palms to face up, lift chest. Exhale, roll the arms the other way, shoulders slide up towards the ears. Inhale, turn the palms to face up, so arms should be starting to tire. Exhale, roll the arms the other way. Inhale, bring the palms through center. So this time working opposition, so one will go one way, one will go the other. And know that this sort of contralateral movement, doing something different on one side, kind of on the diagonal, is incredibly good for navigating the complexities of balance and symmetry. Even though symmetry is vastly overrated and completely impossible. Inhale, turn your left palm up, your right palm down, rotate and reach out with your arms. Inhale, bring the arms through center. Exhale, turn right palm up, left palm down. Inhale, back through center. Now make tight fists with your hands. Exhale, turn left palm up, right palm down. Inhale through center. Exhale, right palm up, left palm down. Inhale through center, one more. Exhale, turn left palm up, reach outwards with your arms. Inhale, bring the arms back. Exhale, right palm up, left palm down, reach out. Inhale, relax your arms. Change your cross-legged, so whichever way it was, just simply switch it around. Your right hand, have the palm so it faces down and turn that hand in. If you're sitting on a block for this, this won't work for this. So you might need to take your back against the wall or put the block or roll behind your pelvis so you can use it as a little assistance for your sacrum. That right hand is coming under your right sit bone and just making sure the sit bone isn't pressing onto a finger or a knuckle. If this is really uncomfortable or you're getting any nerve feedback, which there's a tendency to get here because it's an internally rotated position, stick the fingertips to the floor, but don't let it slide anywhere. You're thinking about this being a very fixed position. So either sitting on the hand or hand out to the side. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, lean away from that right arm and allow your left ear to relax towards your left shoulder. Check back in with that default. Does your head tend to fall forwards of your shoulders, and has it done so? If it has, go ahead and lean your head back. Now from this place, left arm can come over to add additional weight to the right side of the head. If adding that weight feels really uncomfortable, then maybe switch towards using the hand to massage into trapezius or wherever it is on the side of your neck that feels good. One of the things I like to do is kind of stick the fingers on and pull downwards in the direction of the shoulder. So it's very similar to the assist that I would give in the studio if you've been in the building. Now changing the angle, turn your chin towards your left shoulder and left collarbone a little bit. So not necessarily dropping the head forwards, simply changing the rotation, maybe moving the stretch more into the back of the neck. Wherever it is, switch deep breathing on. From this place, tuck your chin straight down, use your left hand on your forehead and then lift your head up. Change the cross in your legs another time. So I've still got the block supporting my pelvis, so especially if you know that it likes to really curl under, use the block. Left palm is turning inwards and taking it underneath the left sit bone, or stick the fingertips to the floor and really make sure they don't move. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, lean to the right. Right ear is relaxing towards the right shoulder. Shoulder blades are down. Come back to deep breathing. So that thing that we spoke about, if it's disappeared or you're wondering what to do next, switch deep breathing on. Know that in neck release pose, deep breathing is a little bit more challenging, and every time you do them, it almost disappears entirely. So just know that it's a thing. It's not a thing that you did wrong, it's just a thing that happens. And then commit to bringing your deep breathing back. Either stay here or bring the right arm up, setting the right hand onto the left side of your head to add additional weight, or bring it in to begin to massage into the tighter parts of that shoulder. Stage 2, turn your chin towards your right collarbone. So the head is still very much lifted, simply a change of angle. Now tuck your chin straight down, take that right hand onto your forehead, lift your head up, and then unravel from there. Give your shoulders a little bit of movement, especially if you're not used to those. So we're moving into not a neck release, but into a side bend. If you're at the wall, you're welcome to stay there. Now the leg position is incredibly useful for getting into piriformis and some of the sciatic irritated areas. Just because it's good for that doesn't mean that it's going to be a good place for you to sit. So just be really honest with this. The right foot is coming underneath the left, so it's next to the pelvis, and the left leg goes over the top of that. So aiming that the soles of the feet point back and the knees are kind of in line with each other. So this is knee pile. If that isn't working, bring the soles of the feet into an open Baddha Konasana. This is still giving you that hip opening potential, but without aggravating into the hips. And maybe knee pile is a pose that you build up to. There might be days where things feel a little looser and a little easier. Take the left hand out to the left, about 1.5 feet. Inhale, bring the right arm up. Palm faces forwards. Exhale, wrap right shoulder blade towards the underarm so the palm faces left. Flatten the left palm, lean to the left. Inhale, lift your left ribs up away from the ground. Exhale, wrap right shoulder blade to the underarm and focus on creating space from right low ribs down to pelvis. There's an additional action that I like to do here, lifting up through the right side of the pelvis, moving the pelvis up away from the thigh, and combining that with pulling the belly muscles in with each exhalation. So it's a little bit extra, but it works really well. Now stage 2 is not going to be a neck release if that's what you're used to. Inhale to reach with that right arm to come up. Use the left hand to bring your head up and legs stay in this configuration. Use your fingertips behind you and lift up towards sit bones. If this top leg is slipping around, put your hand in front just to stop it from going anywhere, but the left hand is definitely pressing. Inhale, lift chest. Without rounding the back, exhale, lean forwards over your knee pile legs. Regardless of flexibility, work with the hands behind you. If you're in Baddha Konasana, your aim is to avoid forward bending looking like this rounding, and instead using the arms to really lift the chest up. This is your forward bend, so you're in a flexed hip position. Some of you, it might start to move forwards, but aiming that the back of the head is lifting and the chin is tucking, recruiting the postural muscles either side of the spine a little further up. So in knee pile or in Baddha Konasana. Stay here, but exhale through the mouth until empty. Hold your breath. Scoop your ribcage forwards and up. If you know how to do Uddiyana, the diaphragm scoop, then do that here. Relax the abdomen. Inhale, come up. Unravel the legs. If you're in Baddha Konasana, you might stay with this, but change the angle to something a little bit different. If you're doing knee pile, then you're bringing your left leg underneath first. Right leg is coming over the top and then adjusting so that you get the soles of the feet pointing back and the knees pointing forwards. If knee pile isn't working, maybe it did on the previous side, do something different on this side. Right hand comes out to the right. Inhale, bring the left arm up. Exhale, wrap that left shoulder blade towards the underarm and flatten the right palm. Inhale deeply down into left side of your waist. Exhale, pull belly muscles in as you reach out through that left side, aiming to create space at left side low back. Now we've done that work to open up into right side low back. Use a little bit of a pull with the right arm to help you create space there. Reconnect to the part of your back that you were looking to work with today. Are you doing this pose in a way that feels conducive to working on releasing and relieving that spot, or are you aggravating it? If it's the latter, what can you change or modify to make that different? Second stage is a forward bend. Inhale, reach with that left arm. Use the right hand on the side of your head, lift the head, and take the hands behind you. If you're in knee pile and this right foot is slipping, block it. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, lean forwards over the legs, aiming to scoop the chest forwards and up. Now, sitting in knee pile might have felt comfortable, but maybe going forwards doesn't. You're welcome to switch it to Baddha Konasana. Inhale, scoop the ribs towards the front of the mat. Exhale, draw shoulder blades back. Tuck the chin a wee bit to help lengthen through the back of your neck. Use deep breathing to help create maybe movement where your abdomen is touching the thighs if you're in knee pile, or breathing in a way to deal with any of the hardening that might be happening in the abdomen if you're in Baddha Konasana. Stay here, but exhale through the mouth. Hold your breath. Scoop your ribs and diaphragm forwards and up. Release the abdomen. Alright, inhale, come up, unravel your legs. Take your arms forwards, so this is just giving you like the kinesthetic awareness of this. Without bending your left arm, exhale, draw the left arm back. Inhale, reach it forwards. Exhale, draw the right arm back. Inhale, reach it forward. So we're going to be working with that as the basis for the abdominal. Come onto all fours. From all fours, look forwards, very slightly stick your butt out and lift between your shoulder blades. So your aim isn't to make a completely straight spine, but to allow the lower back curve to be present and the upper back and neck curves to be present. Without bending the arms, take a deep breath in. Obviously that would make you bend your arms. Exhale, lift the right hand and the left knee. Inhale, release those down. Exhale, lift left hand, right knee. Inhale, setting those down, aiming to move very gently. Exhale, lift right hand, left knee. Inhale, set that down. Exhale, lift left hand, right knee. Inhale, release that down. Now, as we do a few more of these, lift the head. If your head starts to drop, just be aware that that might be an area of interest for you. Also aiming to do the lifting action without moving your pelvis and lower back. Deep breath in, scoop chest forwards. Exhale, lift right hand, left knee. Inhale, set that down. Exhale, lift left hand, right knee. Inhale, set that down. Exhale, lift right hand, left knee, but this time reach the right arm forwards and the left leg back. Inhale, release them back down. Exhale, lift right hand, left knee, and then extend the left arm forwards and the right leg back. Inhale, release down. Exhale, lift right hand, left knee, extend the right arm forwards, left leg back. Inhale, set that down. Exhale, lift left hand, right knee, send the right leg straight back, left arm forwards. Inhale, release down, and then sit up from there. So that's just giving you a little bit of an opportunity to strengthen and kind of recalibrate the muscles either side of your spine. I've been finding this very useful for stabilizing the lower spine if that is an area that you're very mobile. For the abdominals, if you know in things like abs with a roll or abs with a block that you prefer to have your feet against the wall, this is a good time to do that because we're going to be working that pose. So come on down, grab your roll or your block. If you're working at the wall, your aim is to have your knee directly above your pelvis. I realize mine is not, so if I do that, then they are. And the roll at the inner thighs. This allows you to use the wall to take the weight of the legs, especially if you're new to doing the abdominals like this. It will give you the opportunity to start building up to lifting more weight. I know that sounds odd from a yoga point of view, but as soon as you've got your legs up, you are lifting, with the action of tuck tailbone, the weight of your legs. If your feet are on the floor or they're on the wall, you simply are not lifting that kind of weight. And it takes time to be able to lift that kind of weight effectively. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Bring the legs up. So if you're using the wall, feet are on the wall, legs 90 degrees. If you are not using the wall, you can rest the ball of the foot down. Simply make sure you are not lifting your pelvis completely off the ground. Otherwise, work legs straight or legs bent. I'll be teaching this with my legs bent. Inhale, press the pelvis down. Hold your breath. Curl your tailbone up. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, lift your head and shoulders up. Underarms are lifting towards the ceiling, but there's space between chin and chest. Belly down. Inhale, lay your head down. Hold your breath. Curl the pelvis upwards. Squeeze the roll. The pelvis is still on the ground. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up. Underarms lift towards the ceiling. Belly down. Inhale, lay head down. Feet active. Hold your breath. Curl tailbone up. Squeeze that roll. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up. Roll is being used synonymous with block, those of you that are using a block. Inhale, lay your head down. Last one of these. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up. Squeeze roll. Exhale, lift head and shoulders up. So we're strongly building awareness in the inner thighs and low abdominals. Inhale, head down. And moving on to stage 2, this one has a mild rotation in the mid to upper back. Inhale, lift head and shoulders up. So if you know you're nervous about twists, don't worry about these ones. Hold the breath. Squeeze that roll. Exhale, curl the tailbone up. Reach the elbows in the direction of your left leg, but they're still staying basically straight above your shoulders. Inhale, bring the head and shoulders back to center. Relax the tuck in tailbone. Hold the breath. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, curl tailbone up. Reach elbows towards your right leg. Pull belly down. Inhale, bring head and shoulders to center. Hold the breath. Squeeze roll. Exhale, curl tailbone up. Reach elbows towards your left leg. Belly down. Inhale, head and shoulders come to center, relaxing the pelvis. Hold the breath. Squeeze roll. Exhale, tailbone up. Reach elbows towards your right thigh. Lift off the right shoulder blade if you can. Pull belly down. Inhale, head down and set the feet down. If you had your feet on the wall, take them off of the wall and set the feet flat. Ideally, feet are close enough to you that you can touch your heels with your hands, heels underneath the knees, feet hip distance. Lift your right shoulder blade off of the mat and draw the shoulder blade down and then set the arm down. You should feel pretty squint. Take the left shoulder blade off the ground, roll it down, and then bring the arm down alongside your waist. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl, tailbone up, squeeze the roll, and then lift pelvis. Inhale, move your breastbone towards the back of the mat. So using this pose to connect to the strength of your legs. So especially if you spend a lot of time sitting, this is a really great pose to connect to your legs in a very different way. And in Forest Yoga, we use this pose a lot, and you're in it for long periods of time. If your lower back is really grumpy with this, you can physically grab your pelvis with your hands and push your pelvis away from your ribs and see if that helps you work with decompressing your lower back. Shoulder tight, maybe your arms are overhead so the elbows are wider than your shoulders. That can work really well also. Take another deep breath where you are. Exhale, lower down through your shoulders, mid-back, low back, and then set your pelvis down. Remove the roll or the block. Give yourself a moment. With the roll or the block removed, put your hands on your abdomen. Breathe in a way that deliberately exaggerates the movement at the abdominals. Reconnect to the area that you're working with today. Gather information on the work that we've done so far. What has it done for that area? Are the strategies that you are working with helping? Or maybe they need to evolve. So especially if you've been working with an injury for a long time and you've been doing the same thing for a long time, maybe it's time for that strategy to change. All right, roll to your left. Use your arms and bring yourself up from the ground. Once you're there, you're coming into an all fours position, and then up to standing on the knees. So as we move, we're going to be moving through various lunge positions. If you know that you like additional padding for your knees, take it. I'm on more than one yoga mat here so that I've got that additional padding so they don't get irritated. Just covering a few terminology points with this. In this position where you're upright, do the action of tuck tailbone down. So you're thinking tailbone, pointy bit at the bottom of your sacrum, your aim is to pull down on there and feel that the lower buttock muscles engage. Then do the opposite, so do the tilt. You'll probably feel like you kind of start like sticking your butt out and your chest forwards. So these are the two things that we're looking for here. In general, those of you that are coming in with sciatic stuff or a predominance with the outward rotation in your legs, you tend to overuse some of these bigger muscles here, and it's usually to do with the tracking of your legs, which is probably feet sliding towards each other. As you move into these lunges, be very vigilant about the legs going straight back. So especially, for example, in lunge, it is tempting that this leg will move out to the side because it's easier on the hip and that back leg kind of moves in. And then when you do tuck down, it's all upper buttock muscles. When as soon as that leg kind of gets into a different position and you do tuck tailbone down, they should be pliable and the lower buttock muscles being strongly engaged so we can stretch more effectively into the front of the quadricep. So it just takes awareness, really, and that's what I want to instill with this. So from this standing kneeling position, take the left foot forwards, looking at very 90-degree positionings, left heel under the knee, right knee under the hip. This doesn't mean this is how every lunge should be, it is just simply the setup for what we are doing just now. Line up so you feel like your left knee is roughly in front of your left hip and the right foot is going straight back. It is worth checking. It is personal preference whether you have the toes tucked or the foot flat. Inhale, lift your chest up. So when we say telescoping the ribs, it is like an old-fashioned telescope that gets longer and longer. You're almost thinking that the abdomen lifts away from pelvis, the ribs lift away from abdomen, the mid-ribs lift away from the lower ribs, the upper ribs lift away from your mid-ribs, but your shoulders stay down. So that's the feeling. So lift up here. Exhale, tuck your tailbone down, but without feeling like you have twisted the pelvis. So tailbone tucks. Check, has the right side low buttock muscles engaged? Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other like you did with the block or the roll. Deep breath in. Exhale, move into that front heel a little. Inhale, back it up. So at no point are you undoing tuck tailbone. Exhale, lean into this, maybe cultivating a bit of an opening in the front of that leg. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lowering. Aim to get it going straight forwards and back rather than on a diagonal. So inhale, it goes straight back up rather than off to the side. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Take your hands down and then step the feet back. So from tabletop, send your right leg back, then put the knee down. Take your left leg back alongside to meet that and move your shoulders in front of your wrists. Instead of allowing your pelvis to hang down, lift up through the front of your pelvis, very slightly stick your butt out and scoop the chest forwards. Don't look down. Deep breath in. It's not because it's scary, it's just so it'll stop you from dropping your shoulders. Exhale, bend the elbows, shoulders are pulling away from your ears and away from the ground as you lower down. Fully prop up on your elbows. Inhale, pick up your left leg in its entirety, turn it towards your right knee. Exhale, reach the leg back and put the leg down, so really making sure the thigh meat is off the floor. Inhale, lift that right leg. Exhale, turn the right knee towards the left, reach the leg back and then put it down. Do that same action of tucking your tailbone towards your heels and press into the tops of your feet. If you're thinking, is there such thing as too much tucked tailbone in this position? I do not think so. Planting the palms, pull with them so your elbows lift. So this is low cobra. Back sensitive, if that feels really groundly. This pose exists on a spectrum. It can go from as far forwards with the arms as the arms being pretty much straight. Arms are still doing a pull to anywhere where the elbows are pretty much under the shoulders. And these all, in my definition, exist as low cobra variations. Have the elbows off the floor. Without putting your elbows down, slide the upper arms down away from the ears to give you back trapezius. Now, especially if you're looking down at a screen, tuck your chin, lift the back of the skull and recruit your neck muscles. Inhale, lower down. Tuck your toes, hands under your elbows, and then press back towards an all fours position. So because obviously plank was longer, the tabletop is no longer a perfect tabletop. Lunge. Bring your right foot forward. So that's kind of giving you the feel. We're going to be working one pose vignette. So we do a pose, we come down, do little baby back bends, and kind of alternating every time. Square the hips forwards, plant into your right foot, check that the left leg is going straight back. It's one of my pet peeves about many systems where there's repetition, and this is more for those of you that are dab hands at this and have done lots of yoga. The tendency is the second side, you're like, oh, I totally got this. And then the second side doesn't get the same level of attention and consideration. Give it more. Inhale, telescope the ribs up. So get a feel for that concertina-like effect, lifting up. Exhale, tuck your tailbone down. Checking in about how it feels on this side. Maybe it feels different. Deep breath in. Exhale, ease into the lunge. Inhaling to lift straight back up. So I'm pushing off of that right foot. Exhale, lowering. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Tailbone is tucking down. Obviously, if you feel compression in your back, go less far. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. So at no point on the lowering are you relaxing the tuck down. So exhale, tuck tailbone. Work with that tension. Inhale, lift. Okay, great. Come back down onto your hands. Move the knees back to that plank distance and shift the shoulders in front of the wrists. But we note about what the hands are doing. If all the weight is on the heel of your hand, press the weight into the base of your fingers, squeeze your fingertips into the mat, and squeeze your hands towards your knees. You should feel a bit of a pull forwards. Without looking down, exhale, bend the elbows, shoulders draw back as you lower down. So you're almost aiming that your elbows are above your wrists when you get to the bottom. Prop up on your elbows. Do that move of turning the thigh in. So it becomes something hopefully you become familiar with. For me, it is the best SI joint unclogger when moving into back bends. If your feet are pliable enough to work with the toes tucked, rather than just sort of like ballet point toes going down, toenails being broken, then go toes tucked. If it's not working, go for the legs straight. Exhale, tuck tailbone towards the heels. If your toes are tucked, drag the heels back so your knees will be lifted. Inhale, pull with the arms, so the elbows are lifting, chest is pulling forwards. See if you can allow your mid-back to soften towards the ground. So allowing the lower back to be long rather than really high up where most of the bend is happening in the lower back. That's what I like about low cobra. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Bring the hands under your shoulders. Press back onto all fours. So we're moving back into lunge. Step the left leg forwards. If you haven't yet taken padding underneath that right knee, I strongly recommend it. Bring your hands onto your hips. Do they feel level? Draw your left hip down and then get everything facing straight ahead. Right leg hopefully is pointing straight back, worth a check. Exhale, tuck tailbone down. Now grab the bottom of your bottom, so right side. Squeeze the right lower butt cheek towards the left. See if you can get extra engagement there. That's what we're looking for here. Okay, left hand is on your left knee. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, wrap right shoulder blade towards the underarm and then lean to the left. I want you to feel for leaning your right ribs to the right. So your aim is to create an opening down this right side, maybe starting to feel some sensation in the front right side of your abdominals. Inhale, reach down through your right thigh. Exhale, pull belly muscles in. If it feels really back pinchy, brace your left hand higher into your left thigh to help you decompress. If you're wanting to get a bit more, lower into the legs a little bit, but continue that sense of lifting the right side low ribs. So using this combined with a strong pulling in of the belly muscles to start to create the pressure changes in the low back. If you know Uddiyana, this can be a really interesting place to work the Uddiyana sensations. Taking on a deep breath here. Exhale, release the hands down. Step the foot back. Inhale, move the shoulders in front of the wrists for plank. Exhale, bend the elbows and lower down. Take the hands so they are now kind of in line with your head but wider than your mat. Do those little leg moves. You might find tucking the toes allows you to do those little hip rolls. Tuck the tailbone towards your heels, press into the feet. Using your hands, pull with them to help lift the chest. So a very different type of Cobra. Exhale, tuck the chin but without dropping the head, and then hover your hands. If taking the hands up instantly compresses your back, go back to hands down. Deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades back. Inhale, spread between the shoulders. If you're doing hands down, you can still do the squeeze of shoulder blades. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades back. Inhale, spread in between the shoulders. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades back. Head stays lifted. Inhale, spread in between the shoulders. Exhale, squeeze. Okay, now inhale, lower down. Bring the hands underneath the elbows. Press back and up onto all fours. Stick your butt out a little bit here. Lunge with that side bend. Right foot is coming through. Left knee is underneath the left hip. Left leg is pointing straight back. Level the pelvis. Inhale, bring the left arm up. Oh wait, no. Grab the left lower buttock. Exhale, strongly tuck tailbone down and squeeze your left sit bone to the right. Maintain that. Inhale, bring the left arm up. Exhale, wrap left shoulder blade towards the underarm and then begin to lean to the right. Take care this doesn't start to look like a twist. So you want to think collarbones are facing forward, pelvis feels somewhat level. Inhale, lift up through left side of ribs. Maybe your back needs more support, so you can brace that right hand close to your right hip, and this will help keep the right side lower back feeling spacious. Inhale, reach downwards through your left thigh. If you get it, you'll totally understand. Exhale, tuck tailbone down. Perhaps navigating a wee bit of extra depth in the lunge to help navigate into left side lower back. So this is more of a psoas QL release pose. Inhale, release the hands down. Now, before you come down into plank, set up your block or your roll on the medium distance at least, so you get something between your ankle bones. Once you're down, do that leg pick up and roll in so that it is the ankle bones rather than the heels that are squeezing that block. Take the arms wide. So remember, there's a hands down all the time version. There's also a hands up version. Exhale, tuck tailbone towards heels, squeeze block. Inhale, lift chest, maybe lifting arms. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades back. Inhale, spread in between the shoulders. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades towards each other. Elbows are squeezing up. Inhale, spread between shoulders. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades back. Squeeze the block. Inhale, open between the shoulders. Exhale, draw them back. Inhale, lower down. For now, turn your left ear down. Take the back of your right hand onto your lower back. If that is uncomfortable for your shoulder, just sense your lower back. Take 3 breaths, working a very pronounced inhale into the abdomen. So doing inhale, press belly into the mat. And then exhaling to relax that. So you're creating pressure response by bearing down into your abdomen. Use your hands under your shoulders once you're done with those 3, and then bring yourself up. Step the left foot through, so I will actually discard that block first just so you've got a clear runway. Left foot is coming forwards, and then take it a wee bit further forwards still, so that the angle of the shin looks like it's going a little bit forwards. Those of you that are, some of you have done this with me before, so bear with me. I find this is particularly useful for getting a wee bit of rotation into the stiffer parts of the upper back rather than through the pelvis. If you know that this is where a lot of your mobility is based, I want you to really focus on stabilizing. Lower into the lunge and put your hands down to the inside of the leg. So when I was talking about the lower back and sacral stability, there is a tendency to dip the right side down in this lunge with the left leg forwards. I want you to shift your left hip so it's in line with your left heel, and feel for a lifting up through the front of your right hip so that knee points down. Take the right hand so it's pretty much directly under your shoulder, but bend the left arm. Scoop your chest forward, so think about what we did in cat. Exhale, reach the left arm down. So the right arm is staying straight and it's creating this twist into the upper back. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, reach left elbow downwards. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach the elbow down. Inhale up. Tuck tailbone down. Exhale, reach left elbow down. Inhale up. Exhale, reach the elbow down. Take the hands down and scoop the ribcage forwards. This is a second part. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Is the pelvis still level? Inhale, scoop chest forwards. Exhale, relax that leg down. Step the foot back. Bring the block so it is back between your ankle bones. And then come down onto your abdomen. So this time, the position is grabbing your sit bone. So where your butt meets your thigh in the mystical land known as thut, grab a hold. Exhale, tuck your tailbone towards your heels, squeeze block, squeeze sit bones. Inhale, lift your chest. You can even pull with your arms. So you're pulling with your arms against your butt. Inhale, bring your shoulder blades up, squeeze them back. Exhale, squeeze the elbows towards each other. Now you can stay here. Some of you might feel comfortable taking the arms out to the side so the palms face down. Legs are squeezing actively. Take another deep breath. Exhale, lower. Bring the hands under the elbows. Press back up onto all fours. Right leg is stepping forwards. So not just to the 90 degree, we're going a little bit in front of that, a couple of inches. Lower into the hips, so I've got my knee in front of the heel, and then bring the hands down. So it might be more obvious from one side to the other if there's a dip. Lean the weight so your right hip is in line with your right heel, and then unfurl the upper back by sending the chest forwards. Ready the right arm, so you're bending the right elbow. Deep breath in. Exhale, reach the right arm down. So notice the left shoulder stays where it is. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach right elbow down. Inhale up. Exhale, reach downwards with that elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, reach downwards. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale, reach downwards with that. And then set the hand down. Do that re-scooping forwards in the chest, then tuck the left toes, lifting the left knee. Strongly tuck your tailbone down, even as you scoop chest forwards. So aiming to feel strength in your legs, but also an opening up through that left quadricep. Take another deep breath here. Exhale, lower down, but sit back on your heels. If you can't sit on your heels, can you sit on a block? Is that easier on your knees? If not, just do cross-legged. So this next boat is particularly challenging, and you might find doing the sit bone grab feels better for your shoulders and your neck. If you can navigate this, then this will work really well for your shoulders. Interlace the fingers at your lower back. Slide the hands up your lower back. Inhale, bring your shoulder blades up. Squeeze them back, but don't drag them down. But squeeze the elbows towards each other. Without straightening the arms, gradually work the arms straight so your hands are moving away from you. So think tricep extension, but the arms don't straighten. Inhale, relax the arms. You should have felt the entire upper back in quite a state of tension. And when you are face down, and then you have to lift that all up from the mat, you're working your back muscles a lot. So similar to what I said in the abdominals, that's a lot to lift. If it feels like it's too much to lift, have the hands holding your butt and they can support the lift rather than working the weight of both arms plus your shoulders up into the back bend. Okay, come down onto your abdomen for boat. So many different types of boat. So either do the low buttock grab, so the instructions are inhale, lift chest, exhale, squeeze shoulders back, or interlace your fingers. So your hands will be pretty much around about where your butt is. Put your forehead down, slide your thumbs up towards your lower back, shoulder growly, maybe don't do this one. Inhale, bring your shoulder blades towards your ears and then squeeze them towards the ceiling. Elbows are squeezing towards each other. Exhale, gradually work on straightening the arms, but they don't truly straighten. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, pull your arms towards the back of the mat, squeeze the block. Inhale, push your abdomen into the ground. Exhale, squeeze with the arms, but make sure the arms haven't locked out. I feel it's, your hands will probably be in your butt if you've done that. Inhale, lower. Whew. Hands under shoulders, pick yourself up. Move that block out of the way, step your left leg forwards, but climb up onto it. So you're aiming for about a 3-foot stance, actually from where the feet were, it's probably going to be fine. Feet are still tracking hip distance, turn the pelvis forwards. Take a wee bend in your left leg and take your hands as high up into your left thigh as you can and stack your hands. Lift your chest. Exhale, gradually begin to straighten your left leg as you stick your butt out. Now think about the work you've been doing in your back bends. Inhale, scoop your chest forwards and up. Exhale, stick your butt out. So I know you've been doing a lot of tuck, tailbone down, and thinking posturally for the upper back. I'm more interested in this forward scoop than a rounding droop. Oh my goodness, forward scoop, not rounding droop. I shall get that on a t-shirt promptly, or I'll get it tattooed somewhere that I don't want to droop. I'll leave that open for interpretation. No, I shan't. I shan't tell you. Never mind. Forget what I said. You should probably just not do the class. Okay, bend your left leg, step the right leg forwards. So changing, I know you're bitterly disappointed that you're not getting a little back bend in between. Square the hips. My hypermobiles, just make sure you've not locked the knee out. Soften the knee. If you're not sure if you are that person, when your knee locks, does it feel like it's kind of pushing to its absolute maximum? Take it out of that place. Sometimes I feel like if I slip into hyperextension, I lose the ability to engage around the knee, and as soon as I bend it, I kind of get that back. Inhale, lift chest. Take a wee bend in your right leg. Brace the hand into that hip. I like to stack the left hand atop and then start to lean into that. So it creates this back brace. So giving you a good way to work into your hamstrings. Hypermobiles, your left leg, back leg usually gets a bum wrap here. Soften it too. Inhale, scoop your chest forwards. Exhale, draw your shoulder blades back and lift the skull, but tuck the chin. So in Forest Yoga, we work with this concept of relaxed neck. It simply means just not craning your neck or doing anything odd. It doesn't mean drop your head perpetually, because that's just as problematic as craning your neck. Bend the right leg, step that forwards, and then sit down from there. So we've worked a myriad of poses to work into your back. So for a sort of final hip reliever, 2 choices. If you suspect that it is the tissue on the back of your leg that is kind of causing a lot of that scooping under, you're going to work a single leg dead bug. If you know that it's kind of like glute area, then you're working with a little extra rotation into pigeon on the back. I'm going to show you super quick and then you can decide. So for single leg dead bug, the knee is rotating towards the underarm, sole of the foot is pointing up and reaching away with the other leg. Oh hey, it's that lunge position. If you're working pigeon on the back, instead of foot up, the foot is now pointing to the side of the room, but not coming down to the pelvis. Instead, pressing the foot away, pulling it towards the back of the mat, and drawing down there, perhaps straightening the other leg. This will also create some feedback in the back of that leg that's more likely to start to get into the hips. So the 2 poses are perpendicular to a slightly more rotated leg. We'll see what angle it gets to. So come down onto your back. Bring your left knee up, so left knee towards left armpit. There's a tendency to cheat this with the tailbone curling up. Put your butt down. Either hold the foot so the sole of the foot points up, or working pigeon, sole of the foot points to the right. Send the right leg towards the front of the mat. Inhale, press the foot into your hand, whichever one you're doing. Exhale, tuck your chin to help lengthen through the back of your neck, shoulders and shoulder blades down. Bring back that Ujjayi whisper breath and reconnect to the areas that we've been working on today, and also that area that you identified needed this class. Change legs. So it might be you're doing something different from one side to the other. I think that makes things more interesting. So that's not me saying, like, as a grand edict, you must do something different. It's totally fine to do the same thing, but sometimes I find that my legs require very different strategies. I feel like I'm like a Frankenstein's monster assembled and looks passable. Sometimes. Not if you'd seen me earlier today. Alright, release the legs. It is Shavasana time, final relaxation pose. So this is the part where you're choosing a comfortable rest position. So I'm a big fan, especially after a lot of rotation work, which actually we have done, then resting the knees in towards each other, allowing the lower back to flatten. Maybe you prefer to do Shavasana laying belly down. Shoulder tight, if you've got a roll and a block, do chest over here. So that is roll between the shoulder blades and block underneath your head, and taking that as your Shavasana time. At the end of Shavasana, I will bring you up, but set being comfortable as your priority for Shavasana. Gradually begin to deepen your breath. As you deepen your breath, balloon the breath into the abdomen. Reconnect to that area that you have been so attentive to. And inquire as to what else this area may require from you. If there's time after this class for you to do those things, then do them. Maybe it's something else, maybe a hot bath, or even a hot shower. Start to take some movement into fingers and toes. And if you're laying on your back, set the feet to the floor. Roll to your left, and then use your arms to come up towards a seated position, and that might be sitting on a block, or even with your back against the wall. Once you're up, bring your hands together at chest and spread the palms. Take a very deep breath in. Exhale, bow forwards. Namaste.